Nobody is going to save you. Guys, you and only you are the person that can control your life for wholesaling real estate success. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take life by the horns, how to take control of your life, and actually how to go out here, get your first deal, 10th deal, 100th deal, whatever it is. If you want to go out here and actually completely make the change in your life that you need to do, that will make you rich, will get your butt just to kill your excuses, destroy your excuses, and actually make you go out here and do the work that you actually need to do, this is going to be the video for you. This is not going to be a big fluff, rah video to get you jacked up or motivated to go out here. Guys, this isn't a cute little motivation video, okay? This is going to be the video that I need to drill in your head every single time you think of quitting. Every single time you think of, oh, I don't want to go and talk to a seller, or I don't want to go out here and cold call or text or do this or do that. It's none of these things. What I'm going to do clearly and concisely today in this video is I want you to watch this video. I'm making this specific video today. This is why I'm doing a live stream today of exactly what your excuse is. I know for everyone watching this, exactly what your excuses are. Okay, I get them all. Okay, I have hundreds of thousands of you guys reaching out to me giving excuses, and not in a good way or a bad way, right? These are some legitimate excuses, but legitimate reasons why you can't go to the next level, making your first 100K, your first $1 million, heck, even your first deal. So many people are so discouraged and sad and anxious and all of these things. And what I really want to do is change your mind. Guys, if you took all my money, if you took everything that I owned, all my connections, everything, and I still had my mind, you throw me somewhere, all right, I can easily make at least 100K my first year in wholesaling with the knowledge I have right now. Not because of the money I have, not because of how tall I am, not because of my gender, my ethnicity, what nationality. Guys, you can throw me Mexico. I'll find the internet. I'll find a way to do this, okay? I can make 100K virtually wholesaling because all I need is my head. All I need is my brain. That's all I need, okay? Guys, you can get rid of my arms and legs. I don't care. If I have my brain, guys, and I have a soul and my heart is beating, I can make money in this business. And what I want to do is help you eliminate your excuses. I know they're there right now. And I want to tell you exactly how to overcome them. And really, if it takes me really just having this heart-to-heart with you, this is what needs to happen. So guys, if you're ready to eliminate your excuses, actually get rich in real estate wholesaling, guys, I'm going to show you exactly how to get rich. This isn't a rah video, get you jacked up, and then I'm going to sell you a $4,000 course at the end of this. No. This is actually going to be a legit video where you're going to learn the fundamentals of this business and how to overcome any excuse you have. This is going to be it right now. No one's going to save you. Guys, there's not a real estate YouTuber, guru, coach, including myself, that is going to save you out of your financial situation right now. There's not one person that's going to save you from the issues you're having in your life right now. There's not one person. If it's an external factor that is outside of your control, I don't care what it is in your life right now, no one can save it except for yourself. If it's out of your control, the only you can't change what's outside of your control, but you can change how you think about it and your reactions and what you're doing to it, right? And there's some things that are way more difficult than others. I completely understand it. But when we're talking about wholesaling houses and getting rich and making money and working a job and doing this business part-time and all these things, the only person that's going to save you is you. Guys, your mama ain't going to save you. Your grandma ain't gonna save you. Nana ain't gonna save you. Your best friend John ain't gonna save you, right? Your frat bro ain't gonna save you. You are the only person that can save you. You're legitimately the only person. You are the hero to your own story. There ain't no side character. There ain't no special person coming in. It's you, okay? And you know who the villain's yourself also. You have to overcome yourself. And that's why the person that can save you is also the person that can destroy you. It's you, that person in the mirror. You have to make that decision right now if you're going to be the person that's going to be the hero to the story or the villain. This might be your downfall. This might be the greatest comeback story or the biggest awesome story coming out. It's all up to you. It's just completely dependent on how you take the situation. So many people, they take the situation and they live life halfway. They don't live life to the fullest. They don't live life the way it's meant to be meant to be lived. It's not about living the longest in life. It's about living the best life possible. And that's the point here. And I truly believe the financial freedom, the time freedom to let you do whatever you want, whenever you want on your own terms, that's the greatest hero story, guys. I'm as a guy that's already won the game, I'm already the hero of my own story. I might be able to assist you, but I ain't gonna be your main character in your story. You are the main character. I might be the cool little sage guy with the big beard that's gonna, help you out, right? You know, Batman had that kind of guy, right? But I ain't gonna be the guy. All right, I might be the guy to show you how to use your superpowers, but you are the superhero, not me. Okay, no one else can help you out. You're the only person who can help you out. You have to depend on yourself. If you go out here and first learn the first fundamental about getting rich in real estate, this is not the sexiest things. I don't expect many people to be watching this video, but if people that are discouraged that actually want to get rich, you know, the young people, the beginners out here, this is important. Accountability. It's not sexy. I know it's not a fun buzz. Can I throw the words AI and hustle and all that stupid stuff? Okay, I could throw those words in there, but that's not cool. Accountability. Take accountability to your life right now. Think of everything that's going on in your life financially or in your real estate wholesaling business right now. Take a note, pause this video if you're watching a replay of it, and just think right now of where you're at financially in your life. I hate to say it, but just pop up your phone, go to your bank account, pop it up, see what the number is, all right? Now, yes, you know, maybe you make a lot of money, you throw it into real estate, all that, whatever. But for most people, all you gotta do is pop up your bank account, look at that bank account, look at the screen, look at the number. I want you to understand one thing, and this is gonna be punch a lot of people in the mouth, but it's true. Where you're at right now in your life, financially, this is in wholesaling real estate. This is not for things externally, friends, family, things like that, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for wholesaling real estate specifically. That is what I'm qualified to talk to you about, okay? Where you're at right now in your life, it's directly tied to the actions you have taken right now. The past year, 365 days, what you have done, the actions you have taken has directly correlated to the bank account you have in your wholesaling, okay? I'm not talking about spirituality or your family's health or heck, your even health sometimes. No, it's none of that. I'm talking about your wholesaling real estate business is completely 100% tied. It's not tied to the economy. It's not tied to what the interest rates are or what your favorite guru said, right? It's not that AI is taking over. It's none of that stupid stuff. It's directly tied to the actions you have taken. I don't care what anybody has to tell you, that is the 100% truth. Now, does that make you, let's say you have no money, you haven't got one deal. Does that make you a loser? Does that make you a loser? I want you to, you are not a loser if you have not gotten your first deal. I don't care if it's been 5 years you haven't gotten your first deal. It does not make you a loser. I want everybody watching this to understand. You are not a loser in wholesaling real estate until you quit. Let me repeat that one more time. You are not a loser in this business until you quit. It is just a roadblock to your awesome, awesome story. I want you to understand this, okay? You might feel like a loser right now. You might feel like, oh, Zach got his first deal in a month. I should get my first deal in a month. Guys, comparison is the thief of joy. It is 100% the thief of joy. But you need to understand that where you're at right now, it might not be a good spot. And I'll probably agree with you, it's probably not a good spot. And it's 100% directly correlated to the actions you've taken. But you have to understand that that doesn't mean that's the end of your story. This is just the beginning of it. And it's directly tied to your action. And so if you look at your actions, if it's not where you want to be, you have to change the action. And I know a lot of people that make a lot less money than me, that work way more than me. Is their action more important than my action? No, this game is not about how hard you work. And it's insane that people think about that. It's not about working 300 hours a week, right? It's about how smart you're working, the volume you're doing, and what you're doing. Now, you got no money, you're probably gonna have to put a lot of hard work in. But guys, I put 5, 6 hours a week in my business, making millions of dollars because I have people that will work for me to do it, right? And so it's about working harder, not smarter. It's about working smarter, not harder. Which one are you doing, right? A lot of people like to work harder. They don't like to work smarter. It's up to you. And so when we're talking about actions here, right? Action is what it's all about. Action is correlated to your success right now. It's all about the action. And so when I talk about the action right now, you have to understand that excuses are the roadblocks from you taking action. Every single time I talk to a new wholesaler, a newbie wholesaler, or somebody that's not getting their first deal, just straight up starting out, the biggest thing that stops them, right, from taking action, they want to take action, roadblock, boom. You know, when an impermeable object it's a stopping light. I don't know the analogy, but you know, I love analogies. When I find somebody that is not being successful, it's usually due to a lack of action. Analysis paralysis, all this great stuff, right? You know, love all the beginner problems people have, but the excuse factor. Oh, I would love to put 100 bandit signs out, but, right? And then insert excuse. Insert whatever excuse possible, guys. Whatever it is. The only thing really stopping most people from taking action is the excuse. That is it. There's always a why of why you want to be rich. Like I talk to any young guy or gal that wants to get into wholesaling. They all want to get rich. There's not a lack of demand of people wanting a Rolex or a Lambo or a sick whip, right? Everyone's pretty much like that, right? But the people taking action, that's the lack in this business. There should be way more people taking a lot of massive action in this business. But unfortunately, they don't. So when I take my action, I work a lot better and I get more results because people aren't willing to work as hard as me in this business, right? That's a problem. And I want you guys to do that. I literally give you guys the blueprint at freewholesaling.com. Everyone knows that. Freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, I literally show everybody the secrets of how to destroy me in my own business. But you just gotta work as hard as me. You gotta put the 6 years in. Like, you gotta put the hundreds of hours in every single week, and then you'll get to that point. But like, guys, the only roadblock from you making 100K in your first year are always excuses. And excuses inherently aren't a bad thing. They are inherently not a bad thing. Like, an excuse can be something that's completely valid. I want you to understand that, right? There are things outside of your control, my control, I totally understand, right? I get DMs from people, I've gotten this before, and I'll tell you, like, this is why I don't tell everyone that eliminate all your excuses, right? Because I get people like, hey, my daughter's sick and she's in the hospital, and I couldn't do my marketing this month. I get it. Like, I've been in this situation before. My heart goes out to you. Family before everything. That is how I live my life. Health before everything else. Like, I completely agree with that. But you have to understand, because you were in the hospital for a month and you didn't do any marketing, of course you didn't get any deals this month. It's directly correlated to that. You took no action, you got no deals. I hate to say it, but your wholesaling real estate business doesn't care if you're in the hospital or not. I hate it, but it's true. It doesn't care. You have to feed it. The marketing has to be fed, or the deals don't come in. That is how it happens. If you don't feed the dog ain't gonna live, right? If you're wholesaling business, if you don't feed the wholesaling business, it ain't gonna live. I don't care what your excuse is. It's a fact of life. And so we can always have controls over it, right? We can have a buddy, we can have a JV partner, like, we can do things, but like, you have to understand that excuses are gonna be the thing that's gonna stop you from taking action. And there are plenty of valid excuses out here. There are plenty of them. I feel for the ones that make complete sense. But I'll tell you, of the excuses I found in wholesaling real estate, I'll tell you that 0.1%, so 1 out of 1,000 excuses, I call it an excused excuse, okay? And it's usually when your family has a health emergency or you have a health emergency, right? Outside of that, I don't care. I don't care that you need to get your 9 hours of sleep. I don't care you work out 2 hours a day at the gym, okay? I don't care about that stupid stuff. That stuff that's not gonna make you rich. So what I can tell you is, for 99.99% of people out here, kill your excuse. Destroy your excuse. What did I say when excuse it? What did I say is an excuse? An excuse is a roadblock from you taking your action. So when I do a one-on-one and I talk to you, and I have a legit conversation with you, and I ask you, why did you not do 1,000 probate cold calls the past couple months? And you say, well, or but, or well, it was because, right? I could care less, because your business doesn't care. Your business could care less. It doesn't matter. Your business needs to be fed the marketing, or it doesn't run. Guys, I don't care if you're in an emergency situation, right? That you have to go drive somewhere and you gotta go. If the car doesn't have gas in it, it ain't gonna go. It doesn't matter how dire of a situation you're in, it needs gas. And so what you have to understand here is, you can't do massive action and make massive excuses. You can't take massive action and marketing with excuses. Those things do not correlate with each other. They do not mix. It's oil and water. It's fire and water, right? You can't pour a bunch of water on a fireplace and expect it to keep burning like crazy, right? It don't work, okay? It don't work like that, okay? It doesn't. You cannot have excuses in the same space as massive action, all right? They do not mix well at all together. All right. And so if you got to understand, it's either you are going to eliminate your marketing and let the excuses run amok, or you're going to eliminate your excuses and let the marketing and the action run amok. And one thing's going to get you rich and the other thing's not going to get you rich. That's all you can do. And that's all you need to do. So what I want to do is talk about the top excuses I see in wholesaling real estate, and why and how you can destroy all of them. In my personal opinion, I have found there's about 5 main excuses most wholesalers make. And I want to explain them. And also, let me know in the comments, let me know in the one-on-ones, let me know in anything what your excuse is of why you haven't done it. And I'd love to talk about it. I'll tell you, I'm already rich in this business. I've already made millions. I ain't going to give you sympathy points on this, all right? It's directly tied to the action you're taking. So The first most important and probably the biggest excuse I get in this business is time. Zach, I would love to put 1,000 bandit signs out. I'd love to put 1,000 driving for dollars leads out here, but I just don't have the time for it. And I get that excuse a lot, right? A lot of people, for the older folks out here, they will laugh with me here. Every time I get somebody who's under the age of 23, 24, right? Anyone younger than me, I'm 20. I've been in this for 6 years, so I've seen it in and out, right? I've seen the youngins in here, in and out in this business. But honestly, let me tell you one thing, and this is a true thing. When you're under 23 years old and you tell me you have no time for anything, I directly ask exactly to a T, if you have an Instagram, a TikTok, YouTube, Netflix. I always go straight up to that. Statistically, unless you are in the 1% of people who are 23 years old or younger, you do not have any of those apps. You don't understand those. You don't use it. You only read books all day, and you've never logged in on a computer. Considering you have a YouTube account and you're watching my YouTube content, you definitely have a YouTube channel or a YouTube account or whatever to watch my stuff, right? That being said, if you look on screen time on your Android or Apple device, whatever it is, I can find really any young person at least an hour, 2 hours a day that they're scrolling some social media, YouTube or whatever. Even if you're listening to educational podcasts, right? Like, you're doing something, you at least spend 2 hours a day lollygagging on that, right? And I want everyone to understand that you don't need to go see your cousin Sarah's new dog, all right? We see it has a bow tie, we see it looks super cute. I love the cute dog pics, trust me, I'm all for it. But let's get rich first and then we can go play around and do that and buy the dog, the special bow tie, right? For most people, if you cut social media out of your life, or by 99%, you'll be fine, right? Any big moment in somebody's life, if you don't call them or text them or you see them in person enough, it's probably not that important, okay? Your frat guy's wedding pics that you didn't get invited to, you don't need to see that, okay? You don't. And so if you can eliminate at least an hour or two out of your day, most people under 23 have this, and you poured that 2 hours into wholesaling, you got 14 hours a week. That's actually a lot of time. You really think about it, 14 hours a week. Let's take an hour off of sleep. Now we're cooking at 21 hours a week right now of just extra time you get in wholesaling. I'm telling you, throw 21 hours a week in this business. There's a lot to cook. There's actually a lot. At 21 hours, I tell you, about 15 hours is when I say you're really cooking in this business, when you can actually start really doing some damage. That's how you're doing really well. For most people out here, if you're looking at your life, right? I go, oh, I got too much time. I don't have enough time. It's like, okay. And it's usually a jack guy too. It's like, how much do you work out? And the guy, I don't get this. There's a lot of guys working out like 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. They spend 12 hours in the gym when I'm like, dude, just spend an hour at the gym 4 days a week. And people scream at me, you don't understand. I'm like, yeah, I do understand. Mr. Olympia, right? The biggest bodybuilder, the most muscular man on the planet, Dorian Yates, he only worked out 45 minutes a day. Weightlifted 45 minutes a day. That's all he did. And he was definitely juiced out of his mind. Okay, I'll tell that is an excuse. I'll tell you that. But he was the most muscular man. He was the most muscular man in compared to the steroid guys too. And he only worked out 45 minutes a day. And so if you think that unless you are more muscular than him, probably about 10 people on this planet that are probably more muscular than him on his heyday, then you can give me that excuse out of 8 billion people, okay? And so the workout excuse of you have no time, that gives you 7 hours, you sleep an hour less, it's 14 hours a week, boom, you're good to go, right? And then I get the kids thing, I get the full-time job thing, I get those excuses, but usually you can find at least an hour or two that you're dilly-dallying that you can put in this business every single day, about an hour or two. Skip the lunch break, skip breakfast, eat a little more at dinner, I don't care what it is, but find an hour or two in your day, every single day to get in this business and work your weekends off. Saturday, Sunday, you could definitely find 10, 15 hours a week to reverse drive for dollars, cold call, find JV partners, watch this content, do the right things. You can definitely do that. And so time isn't an excuse for most people here. And when you realize you can drive for dollars with kids in the car, it's harder and harder to make excuses. And when you have a job, you have money to pay a VA to do a lot of the stuff that's a little more time intensive. And so when you're looking through it all, you'll be fine. Remember, you can drive for dollars with kids in the car, with a dog in the car. Guys, if you have a dog, put the dog in the back of the car when you drive for dollars. Dogs love car rides. Just FYI for everyone watching this, not cats, but dogs. So I hate the excuses. And for everyone says, oh, I have a kid you don't understand. I'm like, I don't have a kid. But you did make a choice to have a child. To bring a child in this world, it took two people. It didn't take one person, it took two people. Two people consciously made the choice to do that. Now I understand, I am a adult. Okay, I understand sometimes there are situations where that's not the case, but outside of those situations, which are very outside the usual possibilities, you made that decision. And this comes back to the first thing I talked about, was accountability. Accountability. If you take accountability for your actions and the results that come from it, you'll do it well. Number two, this is money. This is, here's the thing, no one really gives me the money excuse anymore, because unfortunately, me and Rick are the only wholesalers, the only wholesalers on YouTube that will show you how to get in this business for free with no money at all. No money at all. Everything. Start to finish, marketing, acquisitions, dispo, creative finance, the entire thing. We are the only ones that show you the entire thing for free, no holds bar, anything at freewholesaling.com, bottom right-hand corner right here, freewholesaling.com. The only ones. So it's very sad. Only 2 people on this planet, 2 people out of 8 billion people will show you how to wholesale with no money at all. So this excuse is actually extremely common before I started YouTube. What, 5 years ago? Crazy. 4.5, 5 years ago. Before that, you needed probably 4 or 5 grand to get in this business, right? Because of masterminds, you gotta go on the Zoom coaching calls and all that, blah, 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 right? Money was the problem. If you're a broke 18-year-old kid, I was broke 17-year-old, I get it. Freewholesaling.com's got you covered, guys. I made freewholesaling.com, and want everybody to understand, for me. I wanted to think, if I was a time traveler and I was gonna make an actual video course, actual downloadable stuff, scripts, everything, and I could just give it to my 17-year-old self to just cut in half all the trials, tribulations, problems I had, I'd literally make freewholesaling.com for that person. And it gave a lot of people a lot of stinking wholesaling deals, okay? And over 100,000 active members, people later, and over 500,000 followers and wholesalers following me on all platforms, 4 YouTube channels, 100,000 plus almost on the Facebook group, like all these people, 190,000 Instagram people, like all this crazy people. Freewholesaling.com, to where we educate everybody. So money is not anyone's excuse, guys. Come on. You got reverse trying for dollars, you got cold calling, you got this thing that only me and Rick have ever talked about, unfortunately, in this business. But it is what we call government lists. These are lists you can get from the government absolutely for free. There's no cost at all. There's websites like truepeoplesearch.com. And unfortunately, I want people to understand this too, because of the vast array of this, and this is excuse number 3. This is the knowledge excuse. Like, I don't know how to get in this business. I don't know the money, I don't know what to do. Freewholesaling.com, it's free, and it gives you the knowledge. Hop on, talk to me one-on-one, give it for free. Freewholesaling.com, that's where it's all at. Freewholesaling.com. And so this actually begs the question. This actually causes a huge issue. Because unfortunately for you, there's probably over 50 lists you can do to get your first wholesaling deal in wholesaling real estate. 50 lists. Now, this is a problem, right? Because it's like going to a grocery store. It's like, whoa, there's a lot of, what do you want for, what, like, ever ask your girlfriend, ever ask your wife, ever ask your boyfriend, you know, husband, whatever, what do you want for dinner? We're in the United States of America, baby, okay? There is basically unlimited options what you can have for dinner, right? You can have subs, pizza, Chinese food, sushi, like Mexican, like you can have, there's all these, and the problem is there's so many options. It's like, you can eat dinner at any of these places, right? And you know, you got to eliminate the excuses, and you got to eliminate where you want to go, where you don't want to do, right? And because the knowledge, actually, a lot of people think the knowledge is nothing. Actually, there's over 50 ways to get your first wholesaling. I would argue there's over 100 ways to get your wholesaling, but over 50 lists. It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I try for dollars? Do I do probates? Do I do code violations? Like, oh my God, do I do some direct mail? Do I, you know, text a probate? Like, what do I do? Do I door knock or pre-foreclosure? It's like, there's so many options, bandit signs, like you're freaking out. I get it. There's a lot of options. And this comes to analysis paralysis. And it's like, I hate to say it, but like, throw a dart, make a list, throw a dart, pick it, do it. I always tell everyone, you know, just pick a marketing channel and a list and just go after it. Close your eyes, pick it, right? Like, for example, guys see me do my live cold calling. I have over 50 states I can call. I do a spinner wheel. I literally can't choose, because someone's gonna be mad that I chose Connecticut. My Tennessee people are mad. And then I cold call in Texas, and then my California people are mad. I click the spinner wheel, I let the spinner wheel choose for me. All right, I don't like making decisions like that, all right? Like, it's too much. Boom, all right? And so knowledge is going to be super important for you guys. And remember, at freewholesaling.com, guys, over 4,000 deals over 5,000 deals now between me and Rick. All that knowledge is at freewholesaling.com. And then one of the worst excuses I've ever seen. This is an excuse I've only seen this year, but the economy. Oh God, Zach, the economy. The reason why I can't be a good wholesaler right now, the reason why I'm not going to work hard is because the economy is bad. I want everybody to understand this. Let me get a little closer to you, okay? Let's actually talk here. When the economy actually gets worse, the more money you make in wholesaling. I want you to understand this. The worse the economy gets in real estate, the worse the economy is, the worse the real estate, but the more money you make in wholesaling. Because distressed properties go up and spreads go down a little, but the amount of deals that actually rise are higher than the decrease in spreads, if that makes sense. Which means overall, you make more money in real estate. Crazy concept. I get it. I know it, but the economy is never an excuse. Hence, I literally have a case study for you. Go to freewholesaling.com, look at Rick in 2008, 9, 10, and 11. He made more money when real estate went down than when it went up in 2003, 4, and 5. He actually made more money when real estate went down because he knew what he was doing, right? And remember, if real estate goes down even more, or if anything crazy happens, you got Rick at freewholesaling.com too, who's gonna help you out. We got live streams, all these great things, and you got me for this too. And guess who's read every single freaking real estate stinking wholesaling book from 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14 that talk about this stuff? I have. Guys, me and Rick together, we know what to do when things get bad. And so don't ever make the economy an excuse. I'm making more money now than I've ever had in my entire life. Last but not least, hard work. This is probably the worst excuse I've ever gotten. But Zach, I don't want to work hard. That's just too much work for me. And heck, there's only one way to go over this excuse. I just tell everyone that they don't want to do the actual work it takes, or they don't want to work that hard. It's fine. Somebody else will, and somebody else will get that money. Guys, in the, I think in the NBA, there's 20 roster spots, 15, 15. It's a really low number. Let's do the NFL, 53. I know it's 53 in the NFL, right? They only get 53 roster spots. If you don't feel like being an NFL player, it doesn't matter. There will be another person that wants to pick it up, okay? There's never a lack of people wanting to be in the NBA or in the NFL. Okay, I'd love to be in the NFL, but I don't have the skills for it, right? And so the thing is, it's like, if you don't work hard, that's fine. Someone else will just fill that in because there's always a huge supply of people wanting to get rich. So if you don't do the work in my market, I'll just get the deal myself and I'll make the money, right? I want to understand that there's a very rare statistical anomaly, right? There's a crazy, insane statistic that I'm going to share with you. And this is something that's probably going to blow your mind. All right. This will blow your mind. It is probably one of the craziest things that you have ever seen in your entire life. And I'm ready to change your life, right? I want you guys to talk to a rich wholesaler. All right. I want you to understand that rich wholesalers don't make excuses. This might be a very foreign concept for you, but if you ever talk to somebody that legitimately, like, you can actually see their HUDs and you can see what they actually do. Everyone that's really rich in real estate wholesaling, they don't make excuses. They don't complain every day of saying, oh, it's so hard. Everything's terrible. I don't have the time anymore. No. Everyone that's rich, they never do that. It's not weird, right? It's really weird. And once you start figuring that out, it's like, huh, that's weird. It's very interesting, right? It's like finding an NBA all-star. Did any of them ever work hard? It's like they all worked hard, right? Like there's every single person that gets rich in this business, they all work hard and they all don't make excuses, because excuses can't exist with you taking massive action, and massive action is the thing that's going to lead you to being rich. So if you ask yourself, like, why do you think you're different? I actually want to ask people right now that have excuses in their head, why do you think you are different than the person that is rich? You want to get rich, but you also want to be the first wholesaler ever in the history to get rich in wholesaling by making excuses and not working hard. Like, who has the ego to actually say that? It's actually crazy to think. It's like, I want to be the first NASCAR driver to never have a driver's license. It's like, what? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I want to be the first person to score 50 points in an NBA game that never played an NBA game ever. His first game ever. It's like, it don't work like that, all right? Like this isn't video game fairy tale land, right? Like it don't work like that, right? You are not different than everybody else. This business is very, very cookie cutter and simple. It's really simple. You work hard, you do the work, and you get rich. You don't want to not once to get the deal. To get the deal the most, you put the most effort, you put the most marketing, and you take the work. You do the work that's required. And so if you want to become a millionaire, if you legit want to make $1 million, change your financial freedom, change your life, change everything, your family's life, your generation's life, your generational wealth forever, you gotta think of one thing, and one thing only. Guys, to think like a millionaire wholesaler, you have to become one. And if you want to become one, you have to think like one. Let's do this one. This is a very important, and this is not a nice concept that, I can sell a course on, but I truly believe you need to hear this. To become somebody, you have to think like them first. Now, this is something I want you to drill in your head. There's this YouTube video out here. It's from Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale is one of the GOATs when it comes to mindset. He did this in the 40s and 50s, okay? And anybody that talks any type of mindset thing, they all steal it from him, basically. He called it it's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. If anyone would go click it on YouTube right now and watch it in the background after this video, do it. I tell everyone to do it. The Strangest Secret from Earl Nightingale. It's about 30 minutes. It's a great listen. I believe it's from a book. But he says I'm spoiling it for everyone too, but the strangest secret he has found with successful people, this is from the 40s and 50s, like for most young people, that's 1,000,000 years ago, right? But to become someone, right? To get that CEO position, to get whatever it is, right? To run the store, be a manager, you have to think like a man. And if you think and change your mind, like I said in the beginning, and turn it into something you want to be, so a millionaire in wholesaling, a millionaire wholesaler, if you want to be them, you have to think like them first. Once you think like them, once you start thinking like them, you start doing what they do. And so, for example, I don't say this like an ego, but like okay, I'm going to think like Zach. Let's take a whole week and think like Zach in wholesaling. What would Zach do in this situation? What do you think? So first of all, if you did that, and like, let's say you're going to get cold call, I'm scared of cold call. And they say, what would Zach think? Zach's not scared of cold call. He wants to get rich. He wants to retire his mom. Okay, roger that. Then you do that and you eliminate your excuses. And so it's not this crazy big secret that's going to stop everything, right? But if you want to become rich, especially a millionaire wholesaler, you just got to start thinking like them. That is all you have to do. If you think like someone that's actually really rich, you'll do well. If you don't want to be rich, think like someone that's broke. That's fine. But remember, nobody great has gotten to greatness with excuses. Think of the greatest human beings of all time. Right? I love talking about people that have done great things in the world, right? I mean, sometimes not great, but like great in history, right? Like for example, Alexander the Great, somebody that I think is a very fascinating person, might not have done the best things, but he literally conquered a lot of the known world at pretty much 21, 22 years old. Guys, did he make an excuse when he was 21 years old that he became the king of Macedonia? Was it, oh, I'm too young to do it, I can't do it? No. He took it he took the throne by the helm when his dad died, Philip II, and he literally conquered pretty much the Greeks, Babylon, Persia, and just went crazy, went in Egypt. His tomb might be there, we don't know yet. But he didn't make excuses, right? And you got to remember that if he made excuses, he would not get to where he was, right? Think of America, right? Some of the greatest Americans of all time, Abe Lincoln, plenty of excuses for him, never made excuses. George Washington never made excuses. Right, I always think of I love Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman is an awesome story. I learned about Harriet Tubman when I was in like school. It was like you talk about it for like like 30 minutes and that's all you learn. But like you actually like read history, like actually legit listen to these people, and you see the great things they've actually done, stuff they don't teach you in elementary and middle school. That woman is insane. I'm just like, when everyone was like, she's a little, the way she thought sometimes was crazy because she took so much risk and did so much change, but she could have made all the excuses in the world, right? And she kept doing things that sounded crazy, but she freed a lot of people. And she had every moment in her life just to stop doing what she was doing, right? But she went after it, right? I think of a lot of World War II stuff too. Like I love World War I, World War II history, but like you think of the Battle of Britain, all these things, like you can make all the excuses in the world, but the people that said, I'm not making an excuse, I'm going to persevere and I'm never going to give up or surrender, those are the people that always are remembered in history. The people that quit and surrendered, you don't know about them, right? You don't. And so right now in your life, you are at a serious crossroads. I want you to understand this. You are at a serious crossroads and you have to understand that. You can either go one path or two paths in your life right now. I personally call it the two paths. All right. You know, it's kind of like the matrix and wholesale. It's the matrix of wholesaling, right? You got the red pill, got the blue pill, right? And it's really a fork in the road for you. And I always call it the two paths, right? And I would personally say there's about 1 or 2 times in your life right now where you get these paths that open up. Very, very rare, right? When I forgot who said it, but I believe luck is when opportunity meets preparation, right? And so the opportunity of getting the wholesaling is presented to you right now, right? And the luck of it is how prepared are you for the opportunity? And so you have 2 options, right? You have what I call the 2 paths. And the 2 paths are the 2 struggles. And so I always tell people, pick your struggle. And what are these struggles I'm talking about, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you something very uncomfortable. And this might not be nice to say, but it's true. The next 4 or 5 years of your life is going to suck. It's gonna struggle. I don't care what you do. There will be struggle. You will not go through life unscathed. You will not, I promise you. Next 5 years, there will be something that's happening, right? There will be something. I hate to say it, hopefully a lot more good than bad, but there will be issues, to say the least. And what you have to understand is you're going to have to pick what type of struggle you want. There will be struggle, but you get to pick what your struggle is. And I guess that's the most mild way to put it. Either right now, you take the blue pill, right? You take the easiness. It's easy, it's nice, it feels good going in. It's a nice pill, right? It tastes like, I don't know, sweet chocolate ice cream. I don't know, whatever. It's nice, right? You don't struggle in the beginning. It's all nice. You sit back, everything's great for 40 years. Everything's really nice, right? But you figure out you're only alive 2 days a week with that little blue pill, right? You work that 9-to-5 job. You work 40 hours a week. Heck, you're a manager 60, 70 hours a week. At most, you're gonna make 100K a year. At most, right? That's when you're in your 40s or 50s. You're probably making 40, 50K a year, and you live for somebody. You work for somebody you work to help reach somebody else's goals, not your goals. And you remember, if you have any medical problems, you drop dead one day, it doesn't matter. We don't really care. We're gonna hire next person, bring on the next part. You mean nothing. You've done nothing really too much. You're benefiting corporation, right? That's how the corporate life works, right? You get health benefits. Oh, whoa, crazy, right? And you realize, you know, at the end of your life that like you really didn't do anything productive or something that you felt that made an impact. Now there's some companies that do that, right? But for the most part, you made somebody else rich at a call center, or, you know, you worked in retail, you know, and like you work at Target and you're a manager of a Target, like what are you doing? And you realize you could have done a lot better with your life, right? You realize that you missed a lot of your kids' baseball games, or you worked, or you struggled, or, you know, you only live 2 days a week. And you wish you spent more time with your family, or you could have the opportunity to do that, but you couldn't because you had to work that day, right? And it feels good, right? But when you really look back at it, right? Like it feels good at the moment, but when you look back at that 9-to-5, you realize it was terrible, especially when you retire, right? You live to be 65. And when you're 65, you're a little older, got the gray hair. You can't do the things you want to do. You want to travel, you can't travel. You got to work. Right? And it ends up, the pain and the struggle is all at the end. And it's the worst feeling because you get the worst thing you possibly have in life, the worst possible feeling, and it's regret. Regret, I can tell you the worst thing as an older person is regret, because when you're older, you can't change it. That's the thing, you can't change regret. It's a terrible, ominous feeling because there's nothing you could have done. Put 45 years in a company that doesn't care. You got a cake for your retirement party, and that was it. And that was the one path you chose. And you sit there knowing that you could have done this thing that maybe sucked for the same, the suck would have been the same, but it could have changed everything. Or you take the red pill, right? The red pill is the pill that tastes like fire hot tamales. It does not feel good coming in. It feels terrible. I get a bellyache. And you end up struggling more in the beginning than ever with the blue pill, right? You work the weekends, you work the job, you're up all night, you're up early in the morning, you are grinding, you are working. It feels like it's never gonna stop. You're waking up in the morning, you go to work all day, you come back tired, you go out there, you drive for dollars, you reverse drive for dollars, you put bandit signs out. Maybe you work out for a little bit, you eat dinner, say hi to the family, go to bed, wake up, do the same thing 7 days a week. 7 days a week, and you do it for a year straight. Guess what happens after a year though? Hey, I'm making more money on this little wholesaling thing than I am in my actual job. I can actually quit my job now. You quit your job, you double your income because you put more money, you put more effort in this business. You start making a bunch of money. Now you start making 6 figures a year in wholesaling. You're consistently doing deals. You start putting the money away from savings and taxes, and start investing in rental properties, and you put the money in rental properties, you get people managing the rental properties, and heck, you stored up $1 million after a couple of years, and heck, that $1 million is making you $100K passively for the rest of your life. If you want to today, you can quit this business. You don't have to wholesale anymore. You don't have to work anymore. Heck, you're 19 years old. That was me. At 20 years old, 19 years old, I was able to make good enough passive income. But 20 years old, $1 million net worth, making over 6 figures passive income at 20 years old, right? Guys, I'm 23 right now. Things only gone up like insanely. And then you look at this, right? And then you think, oh my gosh, all I do is struggle for 2 years, and then the other path I struggle for 40 years. Which one's better? Guys, the struggle you figure out really quickly in your life is the pain in the beginning. It might suck a little, but it's way better. Guys, I'm telling anyone, like I take a flight anywhere around the entire world right now. I still run the business the way I want to because I want to. I tell everyone, the greatest flex I have in my life, it ain't the watch or the cool things I have, right? Or all the rental properties and all the assets and all that stuff's nice. But I can legitimately tell you in my heart, you know, when the day of the reaper comes, right? Hopefully in a very long time, knock on wood, right? But when the day comes that I have to sit and I have to think about my life, I know I've lived it without any regrets. I did everything I possibly could to live the best life for me, best life for my future kids, best life for my grandkids, best life for my mom, dad, my whole entire family. They're taken care of. Cousins are taken care of. Everyone, they're all taken care of. They don't have to struggle the way I had to struggle, right? I don't think I struggle as bad as a lot of people watching this either, but like I could tell you, it's because I took that pain and that suffering in the beginning. A lot of people in my life don't have to deal with that suffering too. My generational wealth is insane for my family right now because somebody was willing to take the sacrifice in the beginning. And I can live that life, and I can live my life knowing I was able to do that. And for a lot of people, they're not willing to do that because they're not willing to take in the work. So I beg everyone, do the work. The one thing I want to leave to everybody watching this, right? I tell everyone, I say it, there's 1 to 2 opportunities in your life right now to make that sacrifice. The opportunity doesn't come by, right? It's like, I love Call of Duty, right? When you play Call of Duty Zombies, they have the mystery box, right? The mystery box is only in a space for a limited time only. You get that ray gun. That ray gun's only there for a limited time. And once you understand that once you take the opportunity, you can either grasp it, do the hard work or not. The one thing I'm leaving everyone out is when you're long and gone and your grandkids sit down the fireplace, talk about you, right? You got to think about this. What story are they going to hear from you? What story? You got to really remember that really hard. What story do you want to leave a legacy on, right? It's never about, you know, living a life that for someone else or living for, like, it's about living life for your family. It's always about family for me. And I think for a lot of people, it's the same thing, right? But think about your grandchildren, right? Not about your kids, think about your grandkids, right? That's generational wealth right there. What story are they going to hear from you? You know, grandpa's broke, that's why you're going to be broke, and that's why we're always going to be broke. Or is it going to be a cool story, right? Guys, you know, a lot of kids, they love watching movies, right? They love playing Mario Kart, right? They love watching the new Marvel movie, right? The new Batman. You know, they love watching a sports team. They love watching Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Think, wow, that's so inspiring. That's so cool. The coolest thing, they look up to the superheroes and the people that do really cool and awesome, right? And all these things, right? Like I looked up as a kid with Kobe. Kobe was amazing. I love watching Kobe win championship. It's amazing, right? The coolest part about it is when you have a superhero that's in your own family. And you see that person went and overcame adversity, changed the entire world, which is the family, forever because they decided to make the change. Because grandpa, grandma decided to start that business and took that crazy risk. We're taken care of now. And now I'm inspired to do something great in my life. Guys, don't go and tell someone to go do something great. Do something great to inspire them to do it. And the only way you can do that is by doing something amazing. And I don't know what's more amazing in life than starting a business, changing your financial freedom, and inspiring the entire family to do the same thing and provide a generational wealth for them through the real estate wholesaling. Nothing greater, I can tell you that. So if I'm leaving off to anybody watching this, if you have an excuse, if you're being lazy, you don't want to do it, the only person you are disappointing is not you, all right? You're disappointing your future family and everyone looking back at you. It's a scary thought. It's a scary, scary thought to have regret. And I don't want to live life with any regrets, right? So maybe I kicked somebody in the teeth a minute. Maybe I hurt someone's feelings a little. And I hate to say it, but you got to remember, that's the way you're going to be looked back at. And that's the way you got to understand, right? And so, guys, I'm 23 years old. I got a lot more fire in me, right? And so if I want to be the person that taught people how to wholesale houses first, I want to say, why do you teach wholesaling for free, right? I want to be the person that people can look back to and say, this is the guy that started wholesaling for free. No, started teaching wholesaling for free, and that, first of all, no one teaches wholesaling for free still. Like, what's up with that? All right, I've been doing this for 5 years now. No one's teaching it for free still, which I think is stupid, but whatever. I'm 23. I'll wait another 30 years before someone does it, whatever. I can tell you is, you gotta go out here and do it. Go to freewholesaling.com. I'll show you how to do it.